We meet again. That's right, I'm back, guys. Hanging out with you guys for a chance to win $10,000. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Jay Sabanis, of course, with Winning Bets, hanging out with you guys on this episode. It's the NBC Sports Predictor app where you can win 10. Did I just say 10? We've been competing for $50,000 all year. Now it's only $10,000. That's right. And there's no guaranteed money. You guys can see this little screenshot up over me. I always wait until the bottom line says $1,000 guaranteed. Like here's the old screenshot that I used to show. You can see where it says $1,000 guaranteed prize. Not anymore. It's $10,000 or it's nothing. So this game has gotten tough. It was always tough, but now it's just gotten like a little daunting, right? It was always cool to think maybe you could win some amount of the money. Now there's no some amount of the money to win. You've got to correctly predict all 6 games to go ahead and win the now $10,000. I shared with you guys that maybe this app was going away. I think this is what they're clearly doing until the app goes away, is basically making it so they're not also going to give away any money until the app goes away. So I'm still going to play it. I obviously love the Premier League. I mean, I watch it every single goddamn weekend. So I'm still going to go ahead and compete and have a lot of fun with this game because, quite frankly, I've enjoyed the NBC Sports Predictor app. I did want to share with you guys, though, just to kind of like put in perspective, because I know a lot of you guys do probably gamble. You're watching the content here on this channel, which is betting and gambling based. I wanted to like put in perspective like how hard this is to hit 6 in a row. If you were to take your 6 predictions here that you're going to go ahead and do and drop them in a parlay over at DraftKings, I only need to bet 3 cents. I only need to bet 3 cents to win $10,000. I only need to win 3 cents. I can bet 3 cents and win $10,000. That's how tough that is. So what the hell? Why not drop a quarter on it like I just did? How about a quarter to win $91,000? So I'm rolling this weekend. I figured as long as they're taking away the guaranteed money from me, hell, let's have some damn fun with this. So I dropped a quarter. Dropped a quarter on this to see if I can't win $61,000. No, or $91,000. I'm sure there's no chance in hell of winning it, but now I got a dream, right? $10,000, $50,000 you could dream. $10,000, it's a dream. By the time Taxman comes around and takes his chunk, you ain't got a whole hell of a lot left. But $91,000, all right, boys, now we're dreaming. All right, enough of that out of the way. Hey, you guys, don't forget, I give away $25 every single week to the winner of the Winning Bets League. Whoever wins that every week wins my $25. Let's take a look and see who won last week. Looks like we had Johnny. Johnny come in first place with an outstanding 38 points, 3 correct scores, 2 results right. Their only miss was in that Leeds versus Southampton game. So Johnny, outstanding work by you. Everybody knows by now to just hit me up on Twitter because that's what Johnny did and that's what everybody's been doing lately. So you can save that spiel because everybody knows just to hit me up on Twitter to get their money. So, all right, Johnny, congratulations, my man. See if you can't do it again this week. And as for everybody else, good luck competing for $10,000 and $25. We all started off with 0 points this week. So good luck to you. Before we go ahead and jump on into the 6 games, let's of course make sure we like to look back on last week and see how last week unfared. So let's go ahead and do that. Where it looks like on Saturday's action, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool kicked off to a 0-0 game. Weren't a whole hell of a lot of chances by a lot of teams. It was a very boring 0-0 draw. Quite frankly, I caught the second half of that. I missed the first half, but I did catch the second half, and Liverpool, they were flying high, at least from a Premier League standpoint coming to that game. But it's always tough going to Selhurst Park, and they play out to a 0-0 draw. Man City beats Bournemouth 4-1. Man City's going to run it up on a lot of people, and certainly some of the newbies in the Premier League. So, they stood no chance. West Ham, they were finally able to, look like the West Ham maybe we thought they were going to be preseason when they brought in a Skamaka, and they still had Antonio and Fornal and Bowens. They won 4-0 at home. Okay. Can you do it this week now, West Ham? Really the first time all season you've shown up and you've been able to get goals. That was against Forest. Let's see what you do this week up against Brighton. I'd love to see if they can continue maybe some of the fine form that they found. Arsenal pulls out the 1-0 win over at Leicester. Just a good result by them up over the weekend, just doing what they do. Sometimes it's not going to be, an easy, right? Even though you're in first place and you're flying high and everything's easy right now for Arsenal, quite frankly. It's not always going to be, and they grinded out a good 1-0 result there at the King Power Stadium. So love to see that right there. Javi Garcia gets his debut win there at Leeds as they knock off Southampton 1-0 in the relegation fight. You knew that one was going to be cagey, knew that one was going to be scrappy, and you knew it was going to be the all-important first goal, and it came late. Neither of those teams are going to give up an inch. I mean, they're in a full-on relegation fight, so not surprising that one was low scoring, and that's kind of the way Leeds games are been going lately. Aston Villa, they beat Everton 2-0. Sean Dice cashes another under 2.5. Not a big surprise. A team that struggles to score in outfield play and open play. They really just need set pieces, and they struggled against an Unai Emery team. Like, that was a classic under 2.5. Sean Dice, how he sets up. Unai Emery is always tough as hell defensively. Just a good unders game as Villa pulls off the 2-0 win. On Sunday, you had Tottenham. They knocked off Chelsea. Chelsea just continues this downward spiral that they're in under Graham Potter. Got him fully on the hot seat now. We're a little bit worried about him. He's obviously, going to coach this weekend. They're taking on Leeds, I think it is. And then they've got the midweek there against Dortmund. We got 2 more bad results there for Graham Potter. He could be on his way out, so look to see what happens right there. But then we did get some midweek games as well. Liverpool 2-0 win over Wolves. That was the 4th time those 2 clubs have gone at each other this season. Liverpool's, gotten the better hand, at least of them. I know they lost 3-0 in that last one out, but boy, Liverpool still outplayed Wolves and losing 3-0. This one reflected just how much better Liverpool is and beating them 2-0. And then the other one on that same day on Wednesday was Arsenal. They finally played that game in hand that they had over City. They got the win over Everton 4-0 at home. Really ran away from them in the second half when Sean Dice couldn't run, his tactics. At 1-0 at halftime, they can still hang around and hope that they can, either lose 2-0 by pushing and getting a late equalizer, or maybe they just, throughout the second half get an equalizer and they draw 1-1. But you give up that sloppy goal by Idrisse where Saka picks his back pocket, plays to Martinelli, and Martinelli finishes it, and they go up 2-0 at halftime. Now, Sean Dice has to change everything at halftime and has to come out of his shell, and Arsenal just thrashes them at that point. Too much offensive firepower. So, good title race, though. We know Arsenal's up 5 points. Level on games, as I mentioned. There is a head-to-head between Arsenal and Man City at the Etihad, where you got to figure City's going to be feeling pretty good, right? Already beat Arsenal at the Emirates, so it's going to be an interesting title race. It's going to be a really good title race. I look forward to watching this one as it comes down to the stretch with 13 games to go. All right, so that's what happened last weekend in the Premier League. Let's turn our attention back to this week where, again, we've got 6 games to try and correctly predict to win $10,000. It all kicks off here at the Emirates with Arsenal taking on Bournemouth. I watched this entire reverse fixture back in, was it mid to late August there. I was on a family vacation. Our last one we took of the summer before kids go back to school and what have you. And I remember we went out for lunch that day and watched the entire match. I was with my buddy. We did a little family vacation with his family and our family. He's an Arsenal supporter, so we watched that entire thing. It was one-way traffic. Arsenal dominated that matchup. They won 3-0. They've obviously gotten better all season. Bournemouth is atrocious, and they're absolutely atrocious on the road. Just god-awful on the road. Oh, man, just atrocious. This is going to be all Arsenal here at home. I think they're going to win big. 3-0, 4-0, that's where I'm at. I'm in between a 3-0, 4-0. I'm going to run back midweek score against Everton, so give me a 4-0 win for Arsenal. Give me a 4-0 win. The next one we got here is Aston Villa taking on Crystal Palace, and this one's tough just because it involves Crystal Palace, which, I've been watching the Premier League for multiple decades, and they're just a team that they can't put out any consistency. They can't go on a good run of form. They just yo-yo and in terms of their performances, and they stay around 12 through 14 in the table. They don't do anything to really impress. They're going to generally keep games low scoring. They're good defensive. They don't have enough attacking power. Zaha does come back from his hamstring injury, but Zaha's not worldly. He always speaks a big game every summer, like maybe he's going to go somewhere, but he don't ever go anywhere. Nobody really wants him. He's not quality enough like that. And Villa, it's Unai Emery. You're going to get a tough defensive game. In their own right, they don't have a ton going forward offensively. Who could be busy in this matchup? Could be Craig Pawson. the referee there, Craig Pawson, he averages 4 yellow cards per game. Well, both of these two teams are in the top 7 in the Premier League in terms of getting yellow cards. So this one could be feisty, could be cagey. And then because of that, I think it's going to be a tightly contested match. So I'm going draw. I went 1-1 draw between Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. If I had to pick an edge, I'd probably just lean Unai Emery at home at Villa Park, but I'm going draw, so I'll go with 1-1. Off to the Molineux next, where we've got Wolves taking on Tottenham. The last 5 head-to-heads have all cashed under 2.5. Last 5 head-to-heads, we've all seen under 2.5 goals. You've seen 3 Spurs win, you've seen a Wolves win, and you've seen a draw in those last 5 head-to-heads. If I like an under, like I do like an under in this matchup, you would think I would like an underdog in that perspective, right? Because you're already seeing low amount of goals. So if you're thinking there's going to be a low amount of goals, pretty good chance an underdog can pull off the win. I don't know if the Wolves can do that, though. They just don't have enough going forward to scare me. And Tottenham's, really good, right? They play a back 5 when they're not in possession. They'll bring their wing backs down, and now they've got 5 across the back, and they're tough to break down. They're just a really good, tough defensive team. We know Wolves is a good, tough defensive team, so I like an under in this match. I cannot get behind the Wolves in this one. If you want to say there's a glimmer of hope for the Wolves, because Spurs does take on AC Milan Wednesday in the Champions League, keep in mind it's Wednesday. That gives Tottenham a little bit of help here. They get 3 full days off. That gives them their attention to focus here on this game against Wolves, but they still are involved. Then maybe you can say, okay, Wolves is catching them in a good spot, right? Champions League midweek, they're down 1-0 against AC Milan. They have to turn up at White Hart Lane at home in the Champions League midweek, so maybe they'll be distracted, and it's a good spot for Wolves. But their lack of offense just puts me off of this. I'm going Tottenham 1-0 is what I went with this one, and the reason I went 1-0 instead of 2-0 is because of that Champions League game against AC Milan, and you're going to see the firepower for Tottenham come off the field, potentially 70th minute, maybe 75th minute, and I don't think they get that late goal for a 2-0 win. So that's why I went 1-0, banking on Tottenham pulling the big guys and resting up for AC Milan. So I went 1-0 Spurs. All right, the next matchup here should be fun. How about Southampton versus Leicester? Are you seeing goals? You should be seeing goals in this one. How about both teams to score has hit in the last 4 head-to-head? How about over 2.5 goals has hit in the last 3 head-to-heads? Now that's kind of head-to-head. How about looking at these two clubs individually, though? Last 6 for each club, over 2.5 goals has hit in 67% of Leicester matches. It's hitting 50% of Southampton's matches. Leicester gets the edge in head-to-head. If you want to go look up the head-to-head, it's a slight edge to Leicester, but it's not by much. But they do get the edge. Southampton's in 20th place. They're not really a good home side. You would think, okay, well, maybe at home that would kind of neutralize the head-to-head slight advantage that Leicester has in this head-to-head. But Southampton is not a good home side. They did rest their players midweek in that FA Cup. They bowed out of the FA Cup, and rightfully so. They need to focus on the Premier League. So I guess Southampton does have that, in their advantage that, they are rested. But I'm going to lean on Leicester having a slight edge in the head-to-head, but really just leaning on goals. I think you're getting an absolute firecracker right here. So I'm going Leicester 3-2. I went Leicester 3-2 win. On to Sunday matches now, where we get Nottingham taking on Everton. Last 6, both teams to score for these clubs individually. Last 6 games, both teams to score. For Everton matches, 0% games. Both teams to score is hit. Forest, 33%. Over 2.5 goals in each team's last 6 is only hitting 17%. Yeah, this one smells like an under, and the sportsbooks know it too. Under 2.5 goals is minus 190. This one smells like an under. This one feels like 0-0, or maybe Everton can squeak out the 1-0 win, and I know Forest at home is the better side, and they should be the one that squeaks out the 1-0 win. But I'm going contrarian here. I'm going Everton squeaks out the 1-0 win. Doing a little something different here. Give me Everton 1-0. All right, now it's the biggest match in all of England every single time these two clubs hook up. It's Liverpool taking on Manchester United at Anfield. This one, I don't know. I mean, it's rivalry, right? So it could always go, either way. I do think Liverpool's in good, at least Premier League form. They've got the couple clean sheets outside of that game against Palace where they got 0-0. A win against Everton. They got the win against Wolves. So they've had some nice wins lately in the Premier League. Liverpool's last 7 Premier League games, though, both teams have scored no in all 7. The last time both teams have scored hit in a Liverpool game in the Premier League was January 2nd against Brentford. They're on this run of, obviously, either they don't score or their opponent doesn't score. One of the two doesn't score, but the games are staying low scoring with somebody, not finding the back of the net. But meanwhile, Manchester City's last 6 have seen both teams to score hit in 67%. So what's going to give here? Is we going to see goals by both teams, or are we not going to see goals by both teams? You'd like to think Manchester United is going to score. They've only not scored once this campaign. All the way back at match day number 2 in August against Brentford was the only time they were in the Premier League this year and did not score. So you would like to think United's going to score. They're also really, really stinking hot. Obviously, Man United is also picking up a trophy recently in the Carabao Cup. Marcus Rashford, maybe the hottest player in all of Europe right now. So while maybe the perception is Man United comes in hotter, and maybe, but last 6 form, both teams are earning 1.83 points. So it's dead even. It's dead even. There's been a nice uptick in Liverpool's performance, so I have a hard time picking a winner. Obviously, I'm a Man United guy, so I'm going to tell you I'm picking Man United to win the game, but this one's flip a coin. This one's absolutely flip a coin. This one's going to be tough. This one's going to be fantastic. Hopefully we get goals, right? Sometimes you build these games up, big games, and they just come in snooze fest under 2.5. Let's get some goals here. I'm going Manchester United 2-1. 2-1 at Anfield. They're walking in and getting the 3 points. 2-1 win for Manchester United. All right, guys, and that's how I'm going to do it this week in the Premier League. As always, want to make sure I wish you guys good luck with your picks. Make sure you come on back next week where we'll compete for $10,000 more. Have a good one, guys, and enjoy the weekend. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and good luck with your picks. If interested in placing real sports bets, then check out my latest daily free sports betting video in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next contest.